Hello there, my dear and bright students. This is your teacher, Shagufta Faisal, and today we will talk about ancient subcontinent. While we're talking about the ancient subcontinent, there is a very famous religion over there at that time was Buddhism. Buddhism is a world religion that began on the Indian subcontinent. But unlike Hinduism, Buddhism spread to many ways. While Hinduism does not have a single founder, but 2,500 years ago there was a prince named Shakya, a small kingdom at the foothills of the Himalaya, present over there in Nepal. A legend says that before Siddhartha was born, a holy man told his father, King Sudhana, that if Siddhartha remained in his father's palace, he would become a great king. But if he learned of the suffering of the outside world, Siddhartha would become a great teacher. Because Sudhana wanted Siddhartha to one day rule his kingdom, he shielded his son from anything unpleasant or disturbing. Siddhartha was raised in luxury. Palace gardeners picked flowers soon after they blossomed, so the young prince would never see death. So he never saw beggars and sick people from the streets, and before this chariot approached, all the beggars are removed from the street. One day Siddhartha saw two old men who had wandered into the path of his chariot. As the curious prince pursued these men, he came across some people who were very sick. Then he saw a funeral procession, and for the first time in his life, his chariot driver broke the news to Siddhartha that all of us get old, sick, and eventually die. The prince was confused by what he had seen, so one night he put on a simple robe and secretly left his father's palace. As Siddhartha wandered the streets, he encountered an ascetic, a holy man who had given up all comfort and prayer. Siddhartha observed that his new acquaintance was at peace, though he owned nothing. The young prince left his palace and lived with Hindu gurus as ascetic. He prayed and fasted. To fast is to eat little or no food. Siddhartha fasted so strictly that he became very weak. This made the prince realize that self-denial was not the path to truth. And then, finally Siddhartha sat under a bodhi tree to meditate. To meditate is to calm your mind, often by focusing on a particular object. After many days and nights of contemplation, he reached enlightenment, a state of heightened wisdom. Siddhartha realized that by putting aside one's self-desire, a person can escape the cycle of death and rebirth to reach a state of peace and happiness called nirvana. Siddhartha told other people of his enlightenment, and he became well known for his teaching. He taught his followers to seek balance in their lives. The path to happiness is neither through indulgence nor denial. Siddhartha's students called him the Buddha, which means the enlightened one, and the followers of Siddhartha's teachings are called Buddhists. The Buddha did not want his teaching to replace other religions. So today, over 300 million Buddhists in all parts of the world adhere there. His ideas travel to China, Korea, Japan, and Southeast Asia. Buddhism lost most of its influence on the subcontinent, and mostly due to the rise of Islam. Okay guys, Buddhism is a major religion and moral force in the world, but it has been all but unknown to its homeland for over 1,000 years. So guys, here are the four noble truths of Buddhism. This would be another question, that what were the four noble truths of Buddhism. So here I'm going to read these four noble truths of Buddhism, which are also mentioned in your book. First of all, there will always be suffering in life. You will suffer always in the while having a good or better life. The cause of suffering comes from our desire to continually search for something outside ourselves. The way to end suffering is to overcome selfish desires. The way to overcome selfish desire is to follow the eightfold path. Yes, he had also mentioned the eightfold path. So what were the eightfold paths of Buddhism? I will let you know. Right view, right intention, right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right meditation. So what is the right view? Right view means accept the world as it is, with what you are seeing and what you are living. So you need to accept it, not as you want it to be. Right? The next is right intention. Be motivated by goodwill, kindness, and empathy. Be motivated by goodwill, kindness, and empathy. Right speech, strive for your word to be helpful. Do not lie or gossip. Right conduct, be aware of your behavior and always work to be better. Right livelihood, choose a career that results in a joy rather than suffering. Right speech, strive for your word to be helpful. Do not lie or gossip. Right conduct, be aware of your behavior and always work to be better. Right livelihood, choose a career that results in joy rather than suffering. Right effort, avoid anger, jealousy, and other negative thoughts. Right mindfulness, be aware and control your emotions and thoughts. And right meditation, focus your mind and nobody so that you can find the path to enlightenment. So guys, these were the eightfold path of Buddhism. I hope it's clear to you now. Thank you.